Our next panel discussion is on hybrid and multi-cloud becoming integral part of IT infrastructure. May we please request our panelists to please join us. Let's welcome Mr. Mehdi Ratta, CEO, ACE Data Cloud Services. Ms. Priyanka Khanna, JCOO, Shivami Cloud Services. And Mr. Biswajit Mohapatra, Partner and Executive Director, CIO Advisory and Hybrid Cloud, IBM India. To moderate this session, we request our editor of Digital Edge, Mr. Kessel, to please join us. Let's start our panel discussion.
Good afternoon, all of you. Good afternoon, Mr. Neeraj. Wow.
Good
After
afternoon,
moving to Mumbai,
everybody.
nice to see you. Ms. Priyanka Khanna, JCO,
Hi, good afternoon,
Shivami Cloud
everyone.
Services. Good afternoon. And Mr. Biswajit Mohapatra, so, Partner and Executive Director and CI Advisory and Hybrid Cloud, IBM India. Welcome to this panel discussion. The very topic is hybrid and multi-cloud becoming integral part of IT infrastructure. I would start with Mr. Biswajit Mohapatra that cloud computing has again evolved itself, starting with the hybrid cloud coming down to multi-cloud now. Even though a company or companies having their own on-premises data centers, they bring in elements of cloud into their IT infrastructure. It means that no infrastructure is complete without the intervention of cloud in one way or the other. So how do you look at this kind of indispensability of cloud that defines IT infrastructure of enterprises and organizations?
Okay, so good question, Mr. Kajat. So, cloud and infrastructure are basically very complementary the way I look at it, right? You cannot really imagine one without other, right? And if you really look at the industry dynamics, and if I really go a little up and set the context, how the industry has been changing basically, right? Today, as you know, the focus is more on resiliency, focus is more on building resilient infrastructure, always on infrastructure, and that's the place cloud plays a very, very important role, right? So today, like, you know, we have come from a long way, basically. I call it as a maybe 50 years or more journey that we have come across, right? Earlier days, data center, of course, all of us are engaged in building data centers or doing data center consolidation, then slowly moving to porting applications across different data centers, virtualizing, whether it's P2P, P2B or B2B kind of virtualizations that we used to do, and then slowly moving towards today's cloud migration and modernization, right? So the journey has been phenomenal, but having said that, of course, the industry went through probably inside out to outside in transformation over a period of time. So earlier days, traditional infrastructure, everything managed, monitored within the enterprises. Then slowly people started exploring about, can I make my less critical workloads move to public cloud, and then the private cloud environment where you could have the most critical data that's sensitive for your business basically, right? Today, I think in today's business, to become resilient, to become successful, there's a dire need to have this coexistence between your traditional on-premise infrastructure, your public cloud as well as private cloud, all coming together to deliver the right outcomes to your clients basically, right? Think about a large bank, for example, right? So technology has changed over a period of time. There are monolithic applications, mainframes at the back end. There are mid-range applications. There are newer technologies, min-stack applications that's running today basically on today's technology. How do you really make everything coexist. Can you ensure that all of those things can move to cloud? Definitely no. So you need to really find out what are the workloads that can move to cloud, Ajij, what are the workloads that needs minor or major modifications before you move to cloud, or there may be workloads which will remain in the on-premise environment and can talk to still your cloud infrastructure, right? So that's basically the way the industry is shaping up today, and the future is going to be hybrid, multi-cloud, encompassing your traditional on-premise applications and infrastructure, coupled with your public and private cloud environment. That's the way I look at it, actually.
Wonderful, rightly said. Mr. Neeraj Mediratta, you have been into the space of cloud for quite some time. I mean, more than a decade you have been into this industry. I think you have been the first movers who really chose really to go into the cloud-based data protection, data backup and recovery kind of thing. You have seen this industry really growing from the scratch. You have this wonderful, recognition and contribution in terms of devising solutions, and you work with large enterprises as well. How do you look at cloud taking shape from the perspective of backup and recovery? And how do you see CIOs and CISO responding to the cloud option for doing the backups and recovery, even though they have their own data centers, on-premises kind of thing? So how do you look at the trends?
Thanks, Kaisar. So we started our actual cloud journey to the market somewhere around 6.5 years back. And that time when we got into it, there were options to go the whole cloud way, because a lot of discussions had already started about adapting applications on cloud and all. But since we come from almost 2 decades of experience in handling data protection, so we decided that we would not dilute our core strength, and we'll try and see how this works on a cloud model. Initially, I would say 6-7 years back when we started, there were a lot of reluctance for most of the enterprises and even the smaller customers, wherein to adapt cloud as a model for backup, because we were asking them to take their data out of premise and give it to put it on a cloud. And that's where there were a lot of it was like evangelizing the whole concept per se initially, because asking a client who was using tapes or other disk device backup was becoming more common those days. So moving it to the cloud out of their premise, so there was a first question: how would the security happen? How would this happen? Then the second important thing people used to ask was about the bandwidth, because everybody felt that I have got terabytes of data. Then if you move the entire terabyte of data out there, then how would that work? But then yes, after there are few early mover clients as well who are ready to take chance. But yes, the workloads were very small. I would say when we started this journey, the first backup we did was only 17 GB of data. The customer later on expanded to about 100 terabytes. That's a different story. But then the first start was only 17 GB, because they said, let everything else, which is my critical data, let it run on the way it is running on those disk devices and tapes, and a DR strategy making a tape replication as well. You start with this low-end servers, but then that turned into 100 terabyte of backup. So you would understand that it covered almost everything, every application which they were using in their environment, and gradually they moved out of the physical backup. So having put that, that was the start 6-7 years back. Now when I see the current situation, there's a lot of shift. At least all those questions have gone, because most of the customers today have, in some form or the other, have adapted cloud, even if not fully at places, but that's in a hybrid model, as Mr. Mohapatra
That's great.
mentioned.
That's great. I think nicely.
Yeah. And when you talk of multi-cloud infrastructure, in a true sense, if I would look at just our own part of business, what we play in the multi-cloud, see, we only cover a niche of their data backup and recovery. So and similarly, there are providers around security, providers around other SaaS applications. So it has become a very sort of interdependent to each other, because you have workloads running on a AWS cloud, you have workloads running on a IBM cloud, then you have the SaaS applications running in the same ecosystem like Salesforce, or we personally use HubSpot.
I will come back to you, Neeraj. Let me have a first round. Could I
Sure.
come to Miss Priyanka Khanna of Shivami Cloud Services? Let me introduce the audience to Shivami Clouds. This is one of the very dynamic cloud services providers in the country. In number of ways, the company has contributed to the growth and development of IT infrastructure and IT assets of enterprises and organizations. Ms. Priyanka, how do you look at the cloud market growing, and how do you look at the receptivity of the solution Shivami Cloud Services provides to the CIOs and the IT heads of organizations?
We at Shivami are very much engaged with our customers from day one. We have seen the industry growing from servers to the manual servers to the entirely shifting to cloud. Before pandemic, many industries or businesses were unaware about the hybrid or any multi-cloud. Ever since we all started with the remote lifestyle, there was a rapid revolution in the IT industry. We all quickly went to a regular cloud normalizing hybrid multi-cloud solutions. When the pandemic started, there were customers which were reaching to us who are really not sure that how will they start work from home options to the employees. We as Shivami help organization to start working from the day one they shifted to cloud and to a hybrid cloud model, and people got the benefit out of it during the pandemic period. Hybrid and multi-cloud are the game changers in the age of intelligent industry. Organizations are realizing that they gain more benefit with all the well-designed hybrid and multi-cloud strategy. So we are helping the organization to understand what is their need, how a cloud infrastructure can help them to ease their work. Today, if you talk about startups, if you talk about enterprise clients or any corporate or SMBs, everyone is talking about client and moving everything on the cloud infrastructure. Yeah, there are a bit of challenges when it comes to the change management, but there is nothing which we cannot, we as a partner to to the organization, help them move everything on the cloud. So client comes up with the challenges, client comes up with saying that this is the solution which we want to move to the cloud, and we have the solutions for it. Basically, if you talk about the solution providers, AWS, Google, Azure, or IBM, any of them, is making sure that the client is running in a smooth manner. More and more organizations are opting toward to move to a hybrid and a multi-cloud change enterprise. The reason because they offer great flexibility. With this cloud solution to obtain the best of both worlds, companies can enjoy speed, flexibility, with the need of discarding any tech spending more money on infrastructure. This is where Shivami comes in picture and makes sure that they are moving towards, we are giving them right solutioning, the problem statement is taken care, and the flexibility is there with the customers. So this is how we have helped organizations to move to the cloud.
So what's the art of actually taking the solution to the CIOs and IT heads of these organizations? How different you really take the solution platter to them? I mean, what is so typical and specific to Shivami Cloud Services? I mean, what's the innovation in terms of deployment of a solution with them?
So if you talk about Shivami is one of the Google Cloud's premier partner. Our maximum, we have 10,000 plus customer with us. The solution platter, what we recommend to customer is first moving their in and out the lifeline of the organization, that is the email platform to Google. Then comes the GCP platform, and then comes the other solutions from SaaS services which we provide app. So the platter to the client, what Shivami offer is end-to-end to cloud, from email to security. So this is what we look forward from our customers, that if they have any challenges, they want to, we have migrated clients from difficult solutions like on-prem solutions, or maybe the servers where they were not they feel that the data is important to be there on the on-premises. We look forward from a problem statement from a customer, and we provide end-to-end IT services to the customer when it comes to deployment, migration, change management, and making sure that the change management plays a very important role when it comes to an organization, because this is where all of the organization are getting stuck. Whether at the organization level, everyone will accept this change for cloud. There are IT managers, there are people where we make them, we do the trainer concept, and we make sure that they are moving towards a hybrid cloud or a multi-cloud solution. So many businesses are turning these models with this desire to avoid vendor lock-in, another benefit, particularly on medium or large enterprises. But we as a partner are giving all the flexibility to the organization so that they can move to the cloud.
Wonderful. Now we have a very distinguished member in the physical manifestation, because this is hybrid one, 3 participants joining us, you know, through video link. So this is the beauty of cloud. I think we are seeing how utilitarian is, you know, the value of the cloud. So Mr. Vidhu Notia is the co-founder and chief revenue officer of Cloud Connect Communications. Welcome to this panel, sir. The cloud telephony is an area that is taking good shape. I mean, there have been some pioneers in this field from India itself, the obvious names. You're venturing into that space, communication, cloud communication area. How do you look at the market taking shape, and do you think that CIOs are taking option to go for cloud telephony and cloud communication as such?
First of all, thank you so much for the introduction, and I welcome all the panelists also there. Hi to everybody, and hi to everybody in audience, and it feels fantastic to be physically present here and see a lot of faces. All right, so as far as the question goes from the market trend, we are very confident, because we started our journey back in 2019. And since then, the adoption of cloud telephony and understanding of cloud telephony has been immense in India. I mean, western part of the world, it has been they have been very active. They understand what cloud telephony is, but this part of the world is just learning. And I mean, by COVID being into place, people, as the panelist already mentioned, Shivangi, that people are understanding that now moving from work from home, it's very essential. And for any organization, or for anybody for that matter, communication is one part which they want to go ahead and be ready almost from day one, because that's where either your internal customers or your external customers come and speak to you, and that's very important. So connectivity, from a connectivity standpoint, I think we complement each other from the cloud and the communication part. It's very essential for any enterprise to grow, and we feel the market is growing and trends are growing. And of course, there are innovations on top of it, like artificial intelligence getting built into the communication platform, and so on and so forth. I think the trends are very positive.
That is very nice of you. Mr. Vishjit, sir, what is your suggestions to the fellow CIOs and IT heads? How best they should adopt cloud to strengthen their IT infrastructure, making it more agile and efficient in terms of handling workloads and any unexpected demand for platforms?
Okay, the question is to me, Mr. Kaiser, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. So let me just talk about what we are seeing as part of my role consulting global Fortune 500 clients, what I see in the marketplace, right? So, of course, there is a surge in adopting, like Priyanka ma'am said, to adopt hybrid multi-cloud, right? Every client is looking at adopting hybrid multi-cloud basically some way or other, right? More so after the pandemic struck actually, right? In the same time, what we are observing is that there is not much planned approach to adopt hybrid multi-cloud, right? It's kind of being done in a very ad hoc manner and very bits and pieces kind of manner. Point number one. Second, if you really look at, still 80% of the applications are waiting to get moved to cloud, even though there is so much knowledge around moving to cloud, still 80% of the applications across the landscape are not really moved to cloud. But the good news is that almost uh, every large enterprise is having minimum five clouds within their enterprise actually, right? That's what we have observed. So that means people are adopting hybrid multi-cloud, but large chunk of applications waiting to get migrated, and in the same time there's a dire need to really form a very concerted approach so that we could help those organizations leapfrog into their cloud environment. So that's the market dynamics. Coming to what's happening for the CIOs, basically, the dynamics has already changed. If you really look at maybe 2.5 years back, most of the time the CIO's approach were, okay, I have a problem and I have a solution that I need to address, right? It's a point-to-point solution. But I don't think today's CIOs can operate having that point-to-point solution and become successful. Today, for every problem, there could be a probable solution, there could be a possible solution, there could be a plausible solution as well, right? So you never know when the next pandemic is going to strike, and how do you really run your business and make your business successful. So that strategic envisioning is extremely important, and that's the place I think cloud and hybrid multi-cloud is going to play a very critical role as well, right? When we are taking this cognitive transformation journey, and we all will agree that I think Mr. Neeraj already talked about, we all will agree that it's going to be the future business is going to be built on the foundation of open, secure, hybrid, multi-cloud foundation. And security is important,
Yes.
open is important, because we need to really collaborate with multiple ecosystem partners to make our cloud journey successful for our clients. In the same time, it's going to be hybrid multi-cloud management. Again, very critical part, management, right? How do you really make all those cross-cloud implementations managed cohesively on a single dashboard? Big challenge even today exists in the industry, basically, right? When you talk about collaborating all those clouds. So those are basically CIOs problem areas and pain point today. But having said that, most of the CIOs have already understood that if they are going to hybrid multi-cloud, they are going to get the benefit of optimized return on investment. They are going to get the benefit of low latency. They are going to get the benefit of superior security. And of course, if I talk about lesser business disruption as well, basically, right? Maybe today, if you guys know, like few hours back, there was a disruption on Airtel's network. I'm just taking an example, nothing say that. So those are the things, those are the business disruptions. How do you really address, basically? So that's what probably CIOs are more focused on today. One is, of course, it's given that they need to move to the hybrid multi-cloud environment, but to take that journey, they have to focus on those strategic envisioning that I talked about. And while doing the strategic envisioning, they need to focus on tactical aspects, which is more about cost optimization and other things which is given. In the same time, a lot of strategic innovation aspects also they need
coming
to look
to,
at so that
yes.
they can build their business around those experiences.
Yes, sir. Coming to Ms. Priyanka, we are talking about hybrid multi-cloud. Definitely, complexity, is very much visible in this absorption of this kind of cloud inputs. What are the security threats, if they go for multi-cloud and hybrid multi-cloud, and the security, risks involved in that? Are CIOs and CISOs willing to go for this very dense hybrid multi-cloud kind of spectrum going into their IT infrastructure? Are they willing to go for this?
Yes, they are willing to go. We have seen, as I mentioned, that we have seen organizations willingly ready to change, because pandemic was a situation where everyone was in a scene that they were today everyone thinks if next lockdown comes, then how are we going to manage? Now everyone is ready with their answers. So and this has changed the CIOs thinking to everyone should be ready with the cloud ready, they should be security ready, they should be next gen ready. And how are they taking their businesses? It's not only about they moving to cloud. Now everyone is also moving their businesses to cloud. If you see, many of the organizations have moved their entire cloud for moving their organizations to cloud. So in the pandemic, we in last 1 year, if I talk about 2020 lockdown, there were multiple organizations, there were more than 1,000+ organizations in a month who had reached out to us that we want to move to the cloud and we are ready for the cloud. After that also, yes, it gave an option to them when they returned back to the offices. They gave an option to move to a hybrid cloud, but now, yes, they are making sure the changes have been taken care, and they are employee perspective, from a customer perspective, and they are ready for it.
Okay, nice. Mr. Neeraj, we have, I mean, CIOs have multi options basically. If it is a matter of data backup and recovery, they have their own hardware infrastructure in its place. What is the trend in terms of data protection on the part of CIOs and CISOs? What kind of architecture they are going for? Chased cloud or the mix of both? What trends you find in the market? Could you please unmute yourself? Please unmute yourself, Neeraj.
Yeah, sorry. So as we speak now, there is a mix of this, you know. So starting from where I left in the last this thing, it has evolved a lot now, and we cater to a lot of customers who are spread all across the country, outside of country, wherein they use this as a hybrid model. There are a big percentage of customers who've got to understand that yes, cloud is the way to go, because once they have moved their applications, their core databases onto the cloud, so that that whole apprehension of whether to do it or not has gone quite a lot. But still, there are customers who still feel that they need to have a hybrid approach, given the sense that tomorrow, if disaster strikes, so how much would be their recovery time? So there are people who are adapting a scenario wherein the last copy, so that, you know, depending on when we configure a solution for a client, we look at the recovery requirements. You know, backup is an enabler, but the core lies in what kind of recovery requirement would come. You know, sometimes a disaster is as simple as a server being lost, so or you know, a server crashing or network down. So that is where there's a mix of it, and cloud enables this very well. So you can have a local copy of certain set of data. You can have a copy on the cloud. That cloud copy could be replicated to the secondary site as well. So the trend is now moving towards that, especially for larger enterprises who have multi branches. You know, consolidation has become very easy with adoption of the cloud model. So here today, we handle cloud clients who have 30 locations, 50 locations from a single console, which otherwise, if you look at the traditional model, there were 30 different solutions running in the locations, and the CIO never had a visibility into what's happening there. You know, so now CIO at a central level can have a full visibility of his entire backup infrastructure across multi-location. So there is a mix of it, and within our this thing also, you know, there are workloads running on AWS, there are workloads running on colo data centers. There are certain customers who have private clouds and on Microsoft Azure. So all these are the current running trends in the backup space when you talk of cloud-based.
That's good. That's good. Bismi sir, so far cloud per se is concerned. I mean, the old cliche that for critical applications workloads you should go for your own premises, and non-critical you can shift to cloud kind of thing. Now you have hybrid plus multi-cloud. What are the workloads you find? I mean, if I ask your own experience that you as the IT head would like to delve onto cloud, what are the applications, what are the workloads that you think that technology leaders are more willing to really deploy on?
The question is to me, Kajal, right? I think I have little trouble on the internet, but it's for me, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. So yeah, I think if I really look at what's really as a IT head when moving to the cloud, clients are really looking at, that was the question, right?
Yes, of course. I mean, the kind of workloads the CIOs are willing to deploy on hybrid now, multi-cloud, very complex, sounding platform. What are the workloads they are willing to really, shift to this particular hybrid and multi-cloud platforms?
Got it. Yeah. So I think what I'm seeing while consulting clients across the globe is that we have come a long way, right? I was mentioning earlier, basically. So earlier days, there were a lot of inhibition around adopting cloud, and maybe clients were looking at and doing a wait and watch, right? What we call as let's see, maybe I'll just make some of my non-critical workloads move to cloud, and still I'll hold everything within my premises. Public cloud, of course, is a no-go. That was a couple of years back. But I think that divide is slowly getting blurred, and more clients are actually adopting even their critical workloads either to run on a private cloud environment or some places in public cloud environment as well, basically, which is quite surprising probably for many of the folks. Right today, I work for largest banks across the globe, starting from New Zealand, Australia, to name the large banks in Europe or Americas. Many of them are actually slowly shifting towards the complex workloads, making those complex workloads move to cloud, whether it's a plain rehost of like-to-like migration to cloud, or maybe breaking the monoliths, building microservices and making those microservices run on the target cloud environment. Of course, those bring in their own architectural challenges, security challenges and other things, but there is a more surge towards even making those complex critical workloads run on the cloud environment as well, right? So the earlier days, as I call that, okay, I have my data and my bugs, can I give my bugs to somebody else and with the key? But that, I don't think that's any longer is valid. It's slowly getting broken, and more critical workloads are moving to cloud. Of course, there are issues around those cloud adoptions today. When you talk about security, then clients think that, okay, when I move to cloud, there is a lot of misunderstanding about shared responsibility, basically, right? So who owns what the cloud vendor owns, what the client owns. There is a lot of misunderstanding that needs to be addressed. Patch management, if I talk about, again, a big challenge, right? How do you do it? Many people think, okay, I have adopted serverless, means I am secured, right? Of course, you have adopted serverless for your application landscape, but what happens to your infrastructure landscape? Have you made those secured as well, right? Then where should I put the data? Should I put all my data in one basket or in different baskets? That's again another thing. And then the multi-cloud management. So those are the challenges still kind of prohibiting the complex workload migrations to cloud to some extent. But overall, definitely there is a positive trend, and more, I talked about banks, I can talk about telecom organizations. Most of them have started really moving to cloud. So
Wonderful.
in the next couple of years, you will find that's going to be probably a big trend where all complex critical workloads are also running on a hybrid multi-cloud environment.
So before I take final remarks from my remote panelists, I just take a question. We do. How the technology leaders, the CIOs, take up this cloud telephony and communication as part of their infrastructure, even though they have hardware vendors across, you name, they are there, starting from everyone. So the pull of theirs to your offerings, for instance, how do you find their interest in it? Is it safe as well? Because a lot of espionage and wiretapping comes up. Are they willing really to come up on the cloud telephony kind of thing? Is it safe or secure? Because I'm asking on behalf of CIOs and CTOs.
Yeah, sure.
Cloud telephony.
That's a very nice question. Thank you so much for that. And it would help me to highlight the security part of it first. I'll answer the security and then go back to the uptake of the product. See, as far as the security goes, in India, the cloud telephony, when it comes to the regulated stuff, so we are a license operator. If we particularly talk about Cloud Connect as a company, we took a license from Department of Telecommunication. We have a full virtual network operator license. So that itself is it's a certificate which tells you that we have to follow all the security parameters and norms which has been set by the government of India already. And we do have to follow all the security protocols and so on and so forth. And plus also, as far as the security goes and as far as the CIOs are comfortable, or their comfort to understand that cloud telephony is as safe as their standard hardware PRI line or a PBX which is inside a hardware which is there already, which they would be shifting it to cloud if they come along with us, of course. So that's exactly the same replica of what they're doing physically.
Okay.
So the security levels are as equal to as a physical box which is already lying there. So that's what it is. And the second part of the question was the uptake of it. So since inception till date, we have almost got roughly 200 customers already onboarded. So when I say customers, they're more like enterprises which are already
Yes, yes,
onboarded.
yes.
So the uptake is really well, and the CIOs and the CEOs of the organizations do understand that it is a critical part of their business operations, because probably communication as a whole is a little piece of it, but then communication is the most critical for any enterprise.
Really
Thank you so
appreciate.
much.
Quickly, one minute. The future of and the sustainability of hybrid and multi-cloud strategy, is it sustainable in the market? Starting from Ms. Priyanka, do you find that it is going to go ahead for years to come, that it will be one of the key arsenals of CIOs and CISOs? Yes, Ms. Priyanka, this question was for you.
Any organization,
Yes.
yeah. Am I audible?
Yeah, my point is that the future of hybrid and multi-cloud.
Am I audible?
Yes, this is for you, Ms. Priyanka. I think slight bandwidth issue. I come back to you in the meantime. Mr. Neeraj, this question is for you. How do you look at this combo, this mix of hybrid and multi-cloud, the future, the roadmap of it?
Oh, see, when we say future, the roadmap, I think we are already in there now, and that is the way to go. And as in her earlier comment, Priyanka mentioned that the pandemic the speed it gave to the cloud adoption. I think that was a sort of a blessing for this industry or the IT to have this kind of a model being adapted so fast, because otherwise moving from that on-prem to cloud was a difficult call for, but this enabled efficiency, enabled operational cost optimization and expansion. So you look at a few of examples in the industry. The telecom first, and NDTV is one of the best adapters of example I can share at this point. During elections 2019, their workloads increased by some 2,000-fold at the election day counting, which they could only manage because they had already moved on to the cloud. Now that kind of seamless optimization was not possible without this, and CIOs now fully understand, and a lot of security questions are now being settled. So security is fully available on the cloud, and so the rest of the advantages of expansion, optimization, and all are anyways very strong for the adaptation.
Nicely
So
put,
future is
Neeraj.
cloud only.
Nicely put, really appreciate. A minute comment from Mr. Viswajit sir on the future and sustainability of this hybrid and multi-cloud strategy.
So I think the future is going to be all on hybrid multi-cloud, and I'm a strong believer of that. Every CIO needs to focus on the digital foundation. When I say digital foundation, three important parameters: resilient infrastructure, pervasive platforms, and security to the core. That's going to be the DNA in future in coming days.
Wonderfully put. Ms. Priyanka, the same question, if you could hear me.
Yes, now I can hear you.
Yes, please go ahead.
So finally, to sustain in the market, an organization should adopt the latest technology. This will help the organization to gain more customer, to retain them for a much longer time, and also to attract the new talent for the organization. It will be in a betterment for an organization to grow with digitally and in the emerging with the tech world. I can say that the cloud and the hybrid cloud and the multi-cloud is going to be safe, and you can store the data on the cloud and just go with the trusted and the reputed brands. This will help the organization to take their organizations to the next level.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate. I would ask the audience to give a big round of applause to the wonderful panel from joining from Mumbai and Bangalore, and Mr. Notya from Delhi. So thank you very much. Really appreciate your time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you all.
Okay,
It was nice.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Bye.
Thank you so much, everyone, for this wonderful panel discussion. Now we have the corporate presentation by Fortinet India. We have Mr. Jayesh Jain from Fortinet India. Let's connect with Mr. Jayesh Jain from Fortinet India.
Yeah, hi. This is Ramanan here from Fortinet. So, am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please continue.
Just confirm me if.
Right now. We have Mr. Ramanan Chidambaram from Fortinet India. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much. Can you just confirm if my screen is visible? Is my screen visible? Can you just confirm, please, before I continue?
Yes, sir. It's visible. Please continue.
Oh, okay, thank you. Thank you. Very good afternoon to all of you. It's a great pleasure to be a part of this great event. And I know this is afternoon time before lunch, after lunch for someone. So I'm not going to take much of a time, this 15-20 minutes, which I'm going to share with you. Trust me, this is something very, very important, critical in today's context. We all know how critical, important security, which plays a very critical role, and we have been hearing from great panelists who are sharing their views, the way the industry has been going on, and how important security at every single point in IT infrastructure, whether it is on-prem, on the cloud, multi-cloud, hybrid cloud, any of the infrastructure. So my name is Ramanan Chidambaram. I lead the SD-WAN business for Fortinet in India. So I'm going to share with you some of the key important things, which about Fortinet. What do we do in today's world of the cyber security? Many of you know, because you have been Fortinet customers and partners for many, many years. We are a 20+ years old organization. And a couple of days back, the 2021 results also been announced that, so we have surpassed the 3.3 billion. It's an amazing figure. One of the leading companies who's been consistently showcasing the growth. And the most important thing which I wanted to highlight here is being a global leader in the cybersecurity space. We keep innovating new things, because one of the goal for Fortinet is to understand what is the future threats. And you can see the kind of the patterns which we do it. And we do a lot of work in terms of educating customers, people across. So you can see the kind of NSE certifications. And in fact, we recommend and encourage even the kids today should understand what are all the different cyber threats available, because there are so many ways and means at which we all face through these cyber threats across everywhere. With this last couple of years being pandemic, and kids used to, and we all used to have this virtual connect. It's very important. Everybody should understand the different cyber threat. How do we protect ourselves, and how do we encounter these kind of? So we have this fabulous certifications, NSE certifications. It's available free of cost. You can encourage. I asked my son to do it, and he is NSE certified. It's more about understanding the basics of cyber security threats. How do we protect ourselves? So that's the focus of Fortinet. If you look at today, we are spread across across the globe, and in India we have a huge presence. We have our R&D, we have our tech support, and we have a sales office across the country. And as I said, we have more than 5 lakh customers globally who's been adopting to multiple solutions from Fortinet, and probably we are the biggest in terms of the registered patents when it comes to the cyber security as of domain. 1,250 patents which we have. That means we keep innovating, and FortiGuard Labs is one of the fabulous forum. I would urge it's available. You can go to FortiGuard Labs, the great work which the team has been doing it. So the highlight here is that the growth, whatever we have been having it in terms of the revenue, majority of the portion goes to the R&D. We keep investing on the what's new, what's coming up in the market from the cybersecurity space, and we innovate the solution. How do we kind of protect and help our customers from all the cyber attacks? So we have been recognized by Gartner Magic Quadrant in various different, we are the leaders in the network firewalls and also on the WAN edge, which is the SD-WAN, which is the business which I lead for Fortinet. And we have been into the complete cyber security solution, which I'm going to share across. This has been well recognized by Gartner and multiple other industry leaders, analysts like IDC, Frost & Sullivan, NSE Labs, and all of them. So what exactly, if you look at the kind of the digital innovation, everybody is looking at digital transformation and cut across every areas. Today it's a hybrid work culture which we have, whether it is work from home or the cloud or edge computing, or the scenario. Any vertical industry verticals have the compliance to be met from the security. Business critical what is accelerating, and the way you look at the access and increase pain. So we kind of come to a view in terms of mission is very clear. Mission is to access data everywhere. It is on cloud, multi-cloud.
Recording in progress.
Security posture is one is a security driven networking, and that's where the WAN edge and 40 switches, the 40 APs, and quite a lot of interesting the voice solutions from Fortinet, everything falls under that. And we have that zero trust access, for the endpoint security or the IoT or the OT enabled the zero trust access, and the cloud adaptive cloud security solution. So this is a 3 pillars based on which the entire solution stack of Fortinet, so many of you would have probably know Fortinet as a firewall, very leading firewall successful company who's been protecting your data center for many, many years. But Fortinet is not only into next generation firewall, we are into every single aspect when it comes to IT infrastructure. Today we have the solution on the SOC and NOC solution. we have on the zero trust, on the networking front, and also on the adaptive cloud security. One of the beautiful thing, the whole solution is being structured immaterial of whatever the form factors, whether it is physical or as a virtual machine. It can be adopted as a software. All these solutions are available as a physical hardware or as a software, or it is available on the public clouds. Like we can take it as on the fly, and gives the similar functionality, similar kind of control, like the single pane of glass is what customers do expect for, and that's exactly which Fortinet is focusing on today. So that's pretty much on what exactly Fortinet as an organization does when it comes to cyber security. One of the leading solution today Fortinet focuses is on the secure SD-WAN. Like we have been seeing that the trend or the transformation which has been happening over a period of time in the industry today, the applications are moving across everywhere. A lot of applications are moved to SaaS or public cloud, and people are very hybrid. Like a lot of people are working from home or now started coming to office. Like it's a completely a hybrid infra. So the existing network or the security infrastructure is not going to help the organizations, because it gives a poor user experience. Somebody needs to understand what application I'm accessing, and he has to kind of give me that faster access, right? And at the same time, the cost at which we have been spending money on the traditional networking infrastructure like MPLS network or the multi-layered or multi-product solutions which is available in our branch office, it increases the cost and also the complexity of the overall operation. And that also tells that the more and more pockets going to increase the number of risk as well. So we came out with this concept of a true consolidation, and Fortinet Secure SD-WAN is one single solution which has the full-fledged SD-WAN functionalities with the advanced routing built in, and powered with the next generation firewall and zero trust networks. The entire solution is completely managed centrally. It can be deployed, managed, real time, or reporting. Everything is completely done at the centrally with the fabulous analytical tool. So the whole concept is this true consolidation will help customers to reduce, and it reduces the complexity. It has a 1 OS, 40 OS, and one single management cutting across. So the industry sees this integration of network and security, and that's where we have built this. Solution is being widely accepted across the customer different verticals, and we have great adoption from very different customers in the verticals across, right? So the what's in it for customers adopting to secure SD-WAN is definitely this solution is going to help improve the user experience and productivity, because it has the app aware and because we all seeing at home. In fact, today when we are working from home, network sometimes goes down, and then we probably have to look at some other mobile network hotspot and all those things. Can I have a technology which can able to give me the seamless connectivity and access to securely access my corporate apps and data? And that's exactly the need of the hour today, and that's what we provide. And reduce risks, and this is very, very important and critical today. The more and more we are expanding the digital innovations and the transformation journey which is happening, the increased cyber threat which is happening, it's important for us to protect ourselves from every cyber risks. And that's what we do, because this solution comes with the full-fledged security functionalities. And this solution also helps going to reduce the TCO drastically. The reason behind is it's a one single consolidated solution of multiple point products in one single, and at the same time it's going to give you the flexibility of you to pick and choose. It's no more corporate network is just dependent on MPLS. You have the freedom of flexibility to pick and choose whether it is broadband or 4G, 5G, which is going to come up in India soon this year. So you have the freedom and flexibility of pick and choose whichever the last mile connectivity is available. And our secure SD-WAN is going to take care of ensuring link. Whatever happens in the link, whether it's a jitter problem, latency problem, it will pick and choose whichever the link which has the good at that point of time for me to transfer the application and data. And at the end of the day, the user is happy, and the cost reduction is one of the most important critical things customers are looking out for today. So these are all the important critical business outcomes, and Fortinet Secure SD-WAN has been, as I said, recognized. We are absolutely the clear leaders in the Gartner Magic Quadrant, and from the feature functionality and visionary and execution perspective, Gartner has rated us as #1. Not only that, even Gartner Peer Insights, which is a customer choice, and there again we are clearly leaders when it customers picks us, they select us as one of the best technology to adopt to. As I said, apart from Gartner, we have been rated as leaders in the IDC market space, and even Frost and Sullivan as well. So net, I just wanted to just to highlight that the way to go on the digital transformation journey, the secure SD-WAN is a very critical component, because it gives you that integrated one single solution, and which of course brings a lot of business benefits for you. So please feel free to reach out to our team, and we will be more than happy to engage and and showcase in live in your environment how this solution is going to benefit your organizations and the users. So I just wanted to thank all for giving us this opportunity, and we are here to protect your IT infrastructure. Fortinet is being one of the leading cybersecurity companies, just to reinstate, and we have been supporting quite a lot of customers globally and also in India over two plus decades, and we will continue to do. And our organization focus is to ensure that we will protect every single customer, every endpoint device, every apps, and every data from any cyber attacks. So with that, thank you so much for your time, and it's all a pleasure meeting you all virtually. Look forward to meet you all in person soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chidambaram. Now we have our corporate presentation by Crestron. Can we please have Mr. Jay Prakash Chinamuthu, Director, Customer Experience, Crestron, India. A very warm welcome to you, sir.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for this opportunity. Today we are here to discuss about the digital workplace and the transformation of workplace pre-COVID and post-COVID. As people return to office, there's a lot of challenges in terms of how do you enable your employees to effectively communicate with their peers who are present physically as well as virtually connected. So the digital workplace is transformed in a very drastic way how it was pre-COVID and currently. And we at Crestron are really bringing a lot of innovative solutions to bring both physical and the remote participants on the same platform to enable effective collaboration. In this, actually, if you see the digital workplace, what are the key things that has to be considered in terms of the post-COVID? The major ones are like the collaboration between teams, effective communication between people, and technology that can seamlessly enable this and also ensure that these can be seamlessly managed and monitored through a system where you can really know which is working and not working. If you take collaboration in the workplace, actually the technology has changed drastically after COVID, where we see a lot of adoption of the video conferencing going away and more of cloud-based collaboration. So you can see the Microsoft Teams of the world, Zoom and WebEx are becoming much and much popular than you take out a remote and dial a video conference and talk to your peers who are there, where you build sophisticated rooms which are identical and telepresence and things like that are going away. So in terms of collaboration, if you see in the digital workplace, hybrid work has become inevitable. For sure, every single meeting, not everyone is going to be physically present. Like this event, you have physical participants and we have a lot of remotely connected people who are there. How do you bring all of these people on the same platform and enable more effective collaboration is always a challenge. We at Crestron strive to ensure that we bring in the right technology in the workplace to enable IT to enable these systems more seamlessly within the spaces, right from a desk to auditorium. So in a digital workplace, you have a lot of different type of spaces, starting from your personal workplace, your cabins, to small meeting rooms, large meeting rooms, trainings, conference rooms, board rooms. So we bring in technology which can effectively bring them. Just to see a quick overview of the numbers that are there, which states like there is a 50% increase in productivity when you have video collaboration rather than just speaking on audio. You just pick up a phone and talk to someone, or do a call with someone and talk to them. The video call is more effective than just speaking over audio, because you see them, you see their expression, you see how they are reacting to you and things like that. So the productivity increases when it is a video call. You know whether they are attentive or not and things like that. We have seen that there's a huge loss of revenue in start of meetings. Whenever you walk into a meeting room and you want to start a meeting, there's always a technical hiccup that is there, which does not enable you to start a meeting within less than 10 to 15 minutes. So if you see the number of people present in the room and how much meetings happen in a day, how many meetings happen in a year, and the time wasted, and see their per hour or per minute, the money that you spend is huge revenue loss that is there. So just the productivity. In a 1 hour meeting, 15 minutes goes in starting a meeting. So we are working on innovative technology which can start a meeting in less than 10 seconds. Just walk in, just say join, and you're on the call, and you are more effective on collaboration rather than working on the technology or trying to sort out the technology piece that is there. Even today, if you open your laptop and start a Teams call, it takes 10 to 15 minutes. So these are some things which are huge productivity loss, which is invisible to us as an organization. Another major thing is, if you see, the employee retention is really very key important thing. When employees are more collaborated and inclusive, the retention rate is much higher, rather than you never really talk to them face to face, see them and things like that. So what do we bring from Crestron to enable this after looking at numbers is, there are the effective fundamental pillars over here are things that are systems that are very easy to use, simple, a no-brainer. Just walk in and say join, you should be able to be on the call. You really require high quality audio and video. When you enable a meeting space that is there, it should not be, can you hear me? Are you able to hear me? It should be a thing that is like, you're really talking to them as if they are in front of you. So the high quality video and audio is really very important in these spaces that are there. So just using a simple webcam connecting, you really don't get that experience of being inclusive. You're always something that you're an alien to the meeting. Another thing is that the technology should be optimized the way it should work for your organization. It should not be that you buy a product and learn how to use it. It should be with your work culture of your company. It should be what tools I use in my office. I should be able to use the same tools in my meeting room. What apps I use for my day-to-day collaboration should be available in my meeting space. So if I'm using Teams as my collaboration platform, my meeting room should be Microsoft Teams enabled. If my collaboration platform is Zoom, I should be able to use Zoom in my meeting room. So whatever is your platform, the system should be for that, and it should not be the other way around, and do workarounds and try to get both combining together. Another major thing is how to easily manage, monitor, and deploy these systems in large scale. So if you have hundreds, thousands of rooms across, meeting spaces across, how do you effectively manage them? And with people being remote, even your people who are supporting these rooms may be remote. So how do you remotely support this? How do you support rooms which are scattered across geographies, across countries? So these are some of the things that are there which we really focus, and which is the requirement from a lot of our customers that are there. With all this said, the other side of it is all spaces are not same. I cannot take a same product and apply for everything. You have private spaces, small meeting rooms, large meeting rooms. You have special spaces like, say, training rooms, your auditoriums and things like that, which requires its own different requirement that is there for collaboration. For example, we were working with an organization who's building a hybrid workplace. And earlier, every week they used to have birthday cake cuttings on a Friday. So the entire week who all had birthdays, they have a session and they do cake cutting. Now they want to do this virtually. How do I do this virtually? So the birthday boy comes physically, but all their colleagues are connected virtually. So we gave them a solution wherein you have a wall which is on Teams, say join, bring all your colleagues, and you do virtual cake cutting and things like that. So this way there's a lot of innovative things that are coming, which we enable their own tools that they use to bring into these spaces. The power of platform is again a key. Here if you see, you need a single platform solution, not bring in different products and try to struggle with that, which should be easy to use, should be simple to support, easy to deploy, and scalable as well. Purpose-built devices, which are intelligent devices today. Intelligent video should know where you are. You cannot have a cameraman in a meeting room to operate the camera for you. The camera should be intelligent to know where you are, and it should focus you automatically. The audio system should be not that there's someone with a mixer to do the gain control. The system should be able to automatically identify whether you're sitting near to the microphone or sitting far away. So like this, there are a lot of things which are purpose-built devices for meeting spaces that are there. So the localized audio visual, the conferencing, the content distribution, all this put together. Another major thing is utilization. You invested so much money. Are you really using them? Are people using them? What is being used? What are not being used? Booking a space, ensuring that the space is available for you. Desk booking, availability, usage tracking, all these are some of the things that are on the utilization side. Scalability and management is whether you build a single room or hundreds of rooms, it should be the same time and effort. So deploying large-scale systems should be much more easier. It should be as equal as building a single room that is there. And post-deployment, you should be able to easily manage, monitor, upgrade those rooms, because technology keeps changing very frequently, and you should be able to virtually upgrade these rooms using software updates, patches, and things like that. So as we discussed the single platform solution, as I said, systems are easy to deploy, use, and manage. The purpose-built devices have got the things that are really required for the space, the best of the camera, the intelligent cameras, the intelligent audio features that are there. The utilization is scheduling, your management, and knowing who's using the space from what time to what time. The scalability is building 1 rooms or 100 rooms at the same point, with the same efforts and same point. To enable these, we built 2 different platforms or technologies that are there, which works on a single Crestron platform. One is video conferencing and wireless for the meeting spaces. And outside the room, you have the booking and utilization percentage. First, jumping into video conferencing. The video conferencing has got requirements today have changed from what was earlier, and has got 4 key pillars that are there. The room should be standardized, meaning that whichever the room I go, whichever the location I go, should look and feel the same. You should not give a brochure, a 10-page booklet to read and operate the room. It should be as simple as I walk into the room and say join, and should be able to join the room. And the second pillar is purpose-built devices. As I said, in video conferencing, the camera, the microphone systems should be intelligent. It shouldn't require an operator to operate that. It should be working on its own. In presentation, you should not force people to plug a cable to present. It should be option of either wired or wireless. I walk in, and the choice of devices as well. Earlier, you used to use only your corporate laptop. Today, someone brings in their personal device. I have the content on OneDrive on my phone. Can I present into the room? Is always a question. So we should enable all this. So we at Crestron are enabling all this seamlessly within these meeting spaces. I already spoke about scalability, which is another pillar of the collaboration. Standard spaces, if you see, are spaces that are there where you have the same experience that you have, whether you're going into your office in Delhi, or you go to Bangalore or Mumbai. The experience should be the same, the look and feel should be the same, the way you use the room should be the same. Or you're going to your office in London, it should look and feel the same. So standardization is important, but again, purpose-built devices for different spaces, whether it is your personal desk, or you go into your meeting room, or you go into your town hall, the spaces are different, the requirements are different, but still works the same way. Purpose-built devices are from Crestron are available in different form factors to enable different type of meeting rooms. Whether it could be small rooms, large rooms, it could be a desktop device, the tabletop device, front of the room, wired or wireless presentation. Localization of AV is again a key, wherein most of the technology piece resides within the room or within the space, but again, as I said, the wired wireless presentation is made seamless and still able to scale and manage through our award-winning XIO Cloud platform. Quickly on the scheduling part, we at Crestron provide a focused on work scheduling systems that are there. Standardized spaces, space booking, occupancy sensing. If someone books a room, doesn't turn up, the room knows that you're not come. It removes the space from the meeting. It allocates it for the other users to use. Knowing the availability from a long distance, from outside, you know whether the room is available or not. Through your app or your Outlook, you know whether the room is available or not. You can book these spaces. Knowing utilization percentage, you know whether the rooms, how frequently they are utilized, who's using, who's not using, what technology is being used in the room, how many people were there in the room, people counting. Knowing analytics of how many times a 16-seater room was used only with 4 people really helps you make decisions in your future decisions. Integrating with multiple different platforms, because as I said, every customer has got their own app and their own systems that they use. So you need a software agnostic hardware that can run any platform scheduling app on this. So at Crestron, we provide the same, where you can have one single hardware that can run multiple platforms. The scalability I've been discussing, again, the same is available on our Crestron scheduling systems as well. So just to summarize, we have a single platform that provides your high quality video conferencing, your scheduling, all this on a same single seamless platform, and moreover, a monitoring management system that can manage all these device pieces together. Thank you all for giving this opportunity to me. We have a booth both virtually on the platform as well as physically outside the hall. We invite you to visit our booth to know more information about our products and solutions that we offer. We also have a very nice experience center in Bangalore, a 20,000 square feet experience center. If you're building a new office or planning to renovate or planning return to work, we highly encourage you to visit our experience center, where you can really see and feel how things work. Because you want to build a state-of-the-art office that is there, you need to know, oh, where do I keep my whiteboard? Where is the power socket to charge my laptop? Whether can I charge my mobile? Is a USB-C fast charger there or not? So there's a lot of questions that come, and when you visit, really there's a lot of insights that you get. So we really encourage you to visit both virtually or physically. We do virtual tours for customers as well to really see how you plan your return to work. Thank you all. Thank you so much for the opportunity, and good afternoon to you all.
Thank you so much, sir.
VMraid's ability to analyze and detect threats other vendors miss stems from our multi-layered, now, near, deep approach and groundbreaking dynamic analysis technology. The first layer of detection is rapid reputation lookup. VMraid compares submitted samples to known good and malicious files and URLs, filtering out known samples in milliseconds, so you can focus on what matters. Our static analyzer examines suspect and unknown files to identify and extract active elements that could indicate a malware threat. Files that pose no threat can be eliminated, enabling security teams to focus only on potentially malicious files requiring deeper analysis. The automated dynamic analysis layer uses VMraid's unique agentless hypervisor-based sandboxing technology. Traditional approaches place monitoring agents inside the sandbox environment. These agents are easily detected by advanced malware, which can then evade analysis. But VMraid runs solely in the hypervisor. It monitors and analyzes malware behavior without modifying the analysis environments. This makes VMraid completely invisible to malware for unmatched evasion resistance. Our hypervisor-based approach enables security teams to analyze samples using gold images of their production systems, revealing targeted attacks. VMraid also provides full visibility into malware behavior, transparently monitoring and logging every malware interaction so you don't miss any critical information. Crucially, VMraid's intelligent monitoring technology automatically optimizes monitoring granularity to provide focused reports while minimizing distracting noise and false positives. VMraid's underlying virtualized architecture and multi-layered approach enable massive scaling while minimizing TCO. This overcomes a significant shortcoming common to other sandboxing technologies, such as full system emulation. No other sandboxing technology can match all the advantages of VMraid. See the power of VMraid X-Ray Vision. Start your trial today. VMRay's ability to analyze and detect threats other vendors miss stems from our multi-layered, now, near, deep approach and groundbreaking dynamic analysis technology. The first layer of detection is rapid reputation lookup. VMRay compares submitted samples to known good and malicious files and URLs, filtering out known samples in milliseconds, so you can focus on what matters. Our static analyzer examines suspect and unknown files to identify and extract active elements that could indicate a malware threat. Files that pose no threat can be eliminated, enabling security teams to focus only on potentially malicious files requiring deeper analysis. The automated dynamic analysis layer uses VMRay's unique agentless hypervisor-based sandboxing technology. Traditional approaches place monitoring agents inside the sandbox environment. These agents are easily detected by advanced malware, which can then evade analysis. But VMRay runs solely in the hypervisor. It monitors and analyzes malware behavior without modifying the analysis environments. This makes VMRay completely invisible to malware for unmatched evasion resistance. Our hypervisor-based approach enables security teams to analyze samples using gold images of their production systems, revealing targeted attacks. VMRay also provides full visibility into malware behavior, transparently monitoring and logging every malware interaction so you don't miss any critical information. Crucially, VMRay's intelligent monitoring technology automatically optimizes monitoring granularity to provide focused reports while minimizing distracting noise and false positives. VMRay's underlying virtualized architecture and multi-layered approach enable massive scaling while minimizing TCO. This overcomes a significant shortcoming common to other sandboxing technologies, such as full system emulation. No other sandboxing technology can match all the advantages of VMRay. See the power of VMRay X-Ray Vision. Start your trial today. VMrate's ability to analyze and detect threats other vendors miss stems from our multi-layered, now, near, deep approach and groundbreaking dynamic analysis technology. The first layer of detection is rapid reputation lookup. VMray compares submitted samples to known good and malicious files and URLs, filtering out known samples in milliseconds, so you can focus on what matters. Our static analyzer examines suspect and unknown files to identify and extract active elements that could indicate a malware threat. Files that pose no threat can be eliminated, enabling security teams to focus only on potentially malicious files requiring deeper analysis. The automated dynamic analysis layer uses VMray's unique agentless hypervisor-based sandboxing technology. Traditional approaches place monitoring agents inside the sandbox environment. These agents are easily detected by advanced malware, which can then evade analysis. But VMray runs solely in the hypervisor. It monitors and analyzes malware behavior without modifying the analysis environments. This makes VMray completely invisible to malware for unmatched evasion resistance. Our hypervisor-based approach enables security teams to analyze samples using gold images of their production systems, revealing targeted attacks. VMray also provides full visibility into malware behavior, transparently monitoring and logging every malware interaction so you don't miss any critical information. Crucially, VMray's intelligent monitoring technology automatically optimizes monitoring granularity to provide focused reports while minimizing distracting noise and false positives. VMray's underlying virtualized architecture and multi-layered approach enable massive scaling while minimizing TCO. This overcomes a significant shortcoming common to other sandboxing technologies, such as full system emulation. No other sandboxing technology can match all the advantages of VMray. See the power of VMray X-Ray Vision. Start your trial today. VMRay's ability to analyze and detect threats other vendors miss stems from our multi-layered, now, near, deep approach and groundbreaking dynamic analysis technology. The first layer of detection is rapid reputation lookup. VMRay compares submitted samples to known good and malicious files and URLs, filtering out known samples in milliseconds, so you can focus on what matters. Our static analyzer examines suspect and unknown files to identify and extract active elements that could indicate a malware threat. Files that pose no threat can be eliminated, enabling security teams to focus only on potentially malicious files requiring deeper analysis. The automated dynamic analysis layer uses VMRay's unique agentless hypervisor-based sandboxing technology. Traditional approaches place monitoring agents inside the sandbox environment. These agents are easily detected by advanced malware, which can then evade analysis. But VMRay runs solely in the hypervisor. It monitors and analyzes malware behavior without modifying the analysis environments. This makes VMRay completely invisible to malware for unmatched evasion resistance. Our hypervisor-based approach enables security teams to analyze samples using gold images of their production systems, revealing targeted attacks. VMRay also provides full visibility into malware behavior, transparently monitoring and logging every malware interaction so you don't miss any critical information. Crucially, VMRay's intelligent monitoring technology automatically optimizes monitoring granularity to provide focused reports while minimizing distracting noise and false positives. VMRay's underlying virtualized architecture and multi-layered approach enable massive scaling while minimizing TCO. This overcomes a significant shortcoming common to other sandboxing technologies, such as full system emulation. No other sandboxing technology can match all the advantages of VMRay. See the power of VMRay X-Ray Vision. Start your trial today.